Oh, and live. Okay, we're live. I always start every live upload with a sip of water and some tea. Don't ever start playing the jaw harp unless you have access to water. I've learned that the hard way. Getting up on stage and start getting thirsty and then you dry out. So move this up a little bit. There we go. We got it now. That's the medicine. Just playing on that harp. And Pickles, he was in here earlier. Oh, there he is right over there. Mr. Pickby. What are you up to down there? He knows he's going to get some wet cat food later. Just zoned out. Hardcore on this Glasrin Phantom. Really love the overtones of it. Good spectrum. Of the harps I've played by Glasrin, this has been by far my favorite. Good spectrum. And it's pretty clear. Let's compare it to like a star. Still love the star, but got alpha. And I got a couple more to try out. Got a Magnum. Haven't really played it much at all. Really stiff reed. Fiery. And I've been playing around with a lot of the breathless harmonics, especially in the past couple days, with the tongue far up and just cradling the sound. Just and things have calmed down a little bit more at the Bebb household. We're 2 weeks in on the infant, so getting a little bit better of sleep. Past couple of videos, I've just been a zombie from 3, 4, 4.5 hours of sleep a night. Well, last night I got 6.5 hours of sleep. It was the way. And got a whole bunch of harps in. Got some Litvinov. I'll play them here in a minute. And I'll have the unboxing up tomorrow. And then got a big Glasrin shipment in. And a lot of people have asked me about this one. On a lot of companies, they call it the Shearwater Hard. Glasrin calls it the Petrol. I haven't hardly played it at all, so let's check it out. Ended up keeping 3 End up keeping the Alpha, the Magnum, and this one. I'm gonna have to do some more playing on this petrol. Later, I haven't got good on it. What else have I been playing this week? Oh yeah, the harps by Oleg. Got two of them. Got an E, or no, a D sharp, and this one's a low C, but it's kind of untuned, really weird, really rhythmic. Really dig the Niega Oleg. They come with they have K's on the front of them. For I believe Niega, it's Kney, but it's pronounced Niega. There I was giving it really short, almost every time I do that technique, as soon as I come off the harp, I'll be a little bit lightheaded because I'm punching inhales and exhales really, really shallow. So you're really taking in really short breaths, so I can only do that for so long. And what I'm doing, and it takes, 5 or 10 seconds to really get it resonating in your head. I'm striking, and I'm holding my tongue, the back of it, a little bit high, and I'm just giving short exhales. Ha, 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 ha. And I'm not really moving my tongue much at all in this. I'm just doing most of it with, if we were to do the technique without vocalizing, it'd be ha, 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 ha. But I'm putting a little stutter in that. Ha 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 ha. And it sounds stupid when you do it without the harp, but it's that same little puffs of air, and you're not really moving your tongue. You're doing the same thing as if you were singing it, and we're just coming down. We're starting at the top, and it takes 5 or 10 seconds for the resonance to kind of build. So your tongue, in the past, I've always done a lot of my techniques of different tones with moving my tongue around a lot and repositioning a lot. There, we're just barely even moving it and just doing as if we were to sing it. Ha 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 ha, and just coming down. And once you get to that point where you can't make it any lower, you can open up your, I think it's your glottis, your throat, and then do the same falling tones for a couple other steps. And see here, I haven't built up resonance, and I've noticed the harps, especially the Niega Olegs, will play better when you let them build up some of that. I'm just going to call it cumulative resonance, when your head really starts to vibrate. See there, for some reason, I didn't have the resonance built up. And then when I went back to the top of my range, boom, I got that fiery loud tones out of it. And it's just that bouncing, and I'm punching those inhales and exhales, but I'm feeling the resistance of the harp. What I find the best way to do this technique is with a harp with really tight gaps and like a medium stiff to stiff reed, because it really gives you a lot of resistance. With a more flexible reed, you kind of end up pushing the back pressure through the harp. Here we want a pretty stiff reed and really, really tight gaps. Now I should probably back up a little bit because I'm probably distorting this mic. These are really loud. Always gnarly on that harp. Then what else should we play? Got a little bit of everything. Oh, here's something that I just learned about, was it a year and a half ago? I did a review of a Glaserin compass, whatever you want to call it. I got it on Amazon. It was about, I think they had it on there for 11 bucks, which was super, super cheap. And I'm like, oh, that's a good buy on it. And I bought it, and I just always thought that the compass was a subpar harp, because give it a listen. And so I decided to order one directly from the maker. This is what the compass he sent sounds like. Much tighter gaps, much better sound. Listen to this. That's like one step above a toy harp. The one that I got off Amazon for super cheap, one I got directly from the maker, isn't bad at all. It's still, I'd say, a beginner harp, but much, much better. So just in the future, keep in mind, if you're shopping around for a harp and then you see a harp that's way, way below the price range, there's probably a reason for it. I believe that was probably, and one of the my subs brought this to my attention. I was playing the compass and they said it sounded really quiet. So I'm like, that got me to thinking. I'm like, well, maybe I just don't have a good example of the compass or compass. And look at the difference in the gaps. Giant gaps here. Passable gaps there. So yeah, just keep that in the back of your mind when you're shopping around on the internet and you see most harp stores put their prices pretty close together or directly in line with other harp stores. And then you see every once in a while on eBay or Amazon a harp that's way, way cheaper. There's probably a reason for it, because it's been discounted because it just didn't turn out perfect. Because definitely this compass here is quite a bit different than... But that's just something I've learned as of late. And one of you subscribers brought it to my attention, so I'm going to be remedying that. I'm going to be re-reviewing the compass and reviewing an actual one that sounds good versus the one that I ordered that was not good for cheap. So yeah, there's probably a reason they had it for 11 bucks. What else should I play? Blah, blah. Play something low. And they kind of changed the setup on YouTube. I had to do some different stuff when I uploaded this. There's a little comment section at the bottom. Okay. Okay, there we go. Got it. Do some more playing. It's late at night. I don't even know. We've been on for 15 minutes. It's got to be 11:30 or so, at least here in Kansas. We'll play harp and D. What are y'all up to tonight? How's the weather out yonder? It's been what, 55, 60 degrees today. Beautiful weather. The snow's all melting. The backyard's full of mud. The dogs have been tracking mud all over the house. When the harping is a little bit sweeter playing today, I've been able to practice since things have calmed down with the baby and had a little bit of extra free time. I've been able to spend more time harping, been able to spend a little bit of extra time sleeping, so that definitely helps with the harp playing. Let's try out this Magnum again. I barely played on this harp. Pretty powerful harp. Stiff reeded. I have been digging the stiff reeds as of late, especially like the O-legs. And I've been playing on this harp too. This is a Masko Norievsky. I used to have a short one in D sharp, was completely gnarly. Ended up selling it to somebody who really wanted to try Norievsky. This one is a lot longer, but it's a lot higher. It's really, really stiff. I think it's F sharp. And the stiffer reeds have been kind of an acquired taste. For about a year and a half, I like to play nothing but flexible reeded breathy harps, and now these stiff reeded harps have been calling to me. They just have a different flavor. And YouTube kind of changed up some stuff, I think. If anybody's been commenting it, I haven't been ignoring you. It's just I don't think it's showing any of the comments. So if you're out there, you commented, I didn't see it. I'm sorry about that, but I think YouTube done switched some stuff up on me, so I'll have to do some learning. And we'll play, I think, one more harp and we'll call it good. It's getting late. I got good sleep last night, but oh, the sleep's coming to get me again. Okay, what should we play? Something not very sensitive. Kind of lost it there, but yeah, that was a Rekka, the Rekka rhombus. And it's not normally that loud. What I was doing is, has pretty big gaps. When I want to milk some more juice out of it, I'll start biting down on it a little bit and compress them gaps until I get tight enough that it just barely doesn't click. So he says, you say that one is not very sensitive, meaning it is harsh strung. It's not very sensitive, and I'm actually just there. You heard me make it more sensitive. It's not as sensitive because the gaps are bigger. Playing just against it without compressing it. And that's a good thing, especially in this Morchang, because it can be played very, very quickly. And also, when your harp's a little bit less sensitive, it'll let your percussive technique shine through a little bit more, kind of like Morchunga are very good for. But I can also take this harp and make it a lot more sensitive too by taking and squeezing the decks down with my teeth until they're very, very tight, and it'll start getting really, really loud. And I like that setup in a Morchang better than having super, super tight gaps. The other Morchang I have that's really, really sensitive, if I can find it. Somebody says, you are my hero. Hey, I know you are my hero. I love everybody who watches the channel. Here is one of the tightest Morchangs you can get. Probably the tightest. Mohan, very, very loud. Very, very nice Morchang, but it's set up so tight that if I try to play really, really fast on it, I'll get clicks out of it, and it is a fantastic Morchang. I'm just not very good on it. Like the Rekkas and the Gorkas, they're not set up that tight. That way for when you want to do your fast techniques, you don't get them clicks out of it, and it also lets your percussive sound shine through. And to get it tighter, just squeeze down on the harp with your teeth a little bit. But in doing that, a lot of times it messes. Somebody says, I feel like my teeth are not aligned enough to bite on the harp. I tend to just push it against my teeth. I'm a noob. Well, kind of. In most situations, you don't want to do this. Like with this Morchang, I know exactly how to work it. I know the Morchang well, and it has a stiff reed, and I know that about how much I can bite down on it. Like on a Glazerin or any other harp that has, like your Vargan, your Drome, that has really, really small gaps. You don't want that pressure biting down on it because it will close the harp on it. This always messes me up when I do this technique a lot. Like say I play this harp all evening, the next harp I pick up, I'm going to get all sorts of clicks because I'll be used to putting that sort of intense pressure. A lot of your harps are going to require almost no pressure held up against the teeth, just barely made it up against your teeth. And if you go biting down, it closes them on them. So you're going to want to light touch most of the time. Now with this particular Morchang, I can really milk a lot of the harmonics out of it. And this is one I handpicked myself out of a batch of about 18. I tuned it up a little bit, but yeah, Rekka is a good maker, and his harps are really affordable. And that's actually my favorite Morchang I played. And then what else should we talk about? Went over kind of some of the techniques I've been doing. You hear a lot of that puffs of air and that falling tone. And that's what I've been working on a lot of the week, and it's been working itself back into my techniques, regardless of which harp I pick up. And another thing that's helping is I've been working out a little bit more. I've got more breath. In the couple weeks leading up to when the baby was born to a week and a half after that, I didn't do any working out, and I got pretty out of shape, and it became harder and harder for me to do harp, especially fast, rhythmic, breathy techniques. It started to get a little bit harder, so I started working out this week, and I'm in a little bit better shape now, so my breathing techniques are coming back. And how should someone practice just starting out? Okay, this is a good technique. I'll answer that in just a minute. If I forget, remind me. But another thing that's helping with my harping is planking while I'm playing the harp. If you look up Olena Podzluna, or otherwise known as Utai, you'll find a video of her planking and playing a harp. I've been doing this, and it really, really helps with your breathing and your control. If you can plank and play a harp, then you can play a harp for a long time. You're not going to get out of breath. You're not going to get winded. You're not going to get fatigued. And then somebody just commented, how should they start out playing the harp? Well, if you can answer back real quick, what harp are you starting out on? Just let me know, and I'll see if I have it or something similar. And if you don't answer back, I'm just going to grab some beginner harps. Okay. We're going to just start out on some beginner harps here. We've got... Which wave are we? Okay. Well, it says planking. Oh, plank. Somebody questioned planking. We're going to start on the beginner technique here in a second. Planking is where you're like in push-up here. Just going to, if I were doing a push-up like this, and then my legs are behind me, only I'm going to go to my elbows, and we're going to play the harp from here. And if it wasn't so much work, I'd show you. I think I'll probably, maybe in the future, I'll do that video, or if you look up Olena Podzluna, she can show you, heck with it. I'll get down on the floor. Let's try planking and playing a harp. Let's do it. Let's give this a try here. This is going to be a weird video. Somebody says, I believe a Pavel Pokin. Okay, this is planking. We are on the floor. We're going to practice planking the harp. You need your legs straight out behind you, and you're going to go like you're planking. And when you're doing this, none of your body should be touching the floor when you're playing. And that really, I got that from Olena, and that really, really builds up your harping, really allows you to breathe a lot more freely. Somebody said, how should somebody practice starting out? Okay, but yes, we covered a little bit of planking, and I didn't invent that. I got that from watching Olena's video. Okay, whew! That's really a workout to plank and play the harp. Okay, we're going to have a sip of tea, and we're going to take a beginner lesson. And somebody said they had the Pavel Pokin. Here we go. First thing I do when I play the harp, or the first technique, somebody says, do you guys believe this? I do. It's happening in real life. Okay. We have the Pokin here, and you can hear upstairs the vacuum. My wife is playing a YouTube video of a vacuum cleaner to help the child sleep. Whew, I'm still kind of out of breath from the planking and playing the harp. I highly, if you're in good health and if you have a good heart and all that, I highly recommend you doing it because it will help your breathing techniques and it'll help you to play for longer without fatiguing. Whew. Okay, first way to grip the harp, regardless of what harp you have, here's the Pokin like you have. Here's a Snoopy. Snoopy, I don't recommend Snoopy harps or Hobby Lobby mouth harps, but same technique. Middle finger and thumb on bottom. The pointer finger resting on top. I rest it slightly in front. Some people rest it slightly behind. Everybody's different. Everybody's anatomy is different. Everybody's going to have different hands. Mine is most comfortable when I'm gripping it like this and like this. Boom, just kind of cradling it in there. And feel around for it. It's not, just because I grip it one way doesn't mean that you can't modify your grip a little bit. Find what's comfortable for you. It's like holding a fork. A lot of people hold the fork about the same way, but just slightly modified. So we got a hold of our harp. Middle finger, thumb, pointer finger on top. It's going to go right up against your teeth. Right here. If your teeth were making a C, you need a slight space for the reed. We're going to go right up against it. We're not going to bite down. We're not biting down on it. Our teeth are just resting against the front of there. I always suggest people starting out with inward technique, because not only is your harp going to last longer, it's going to put a lot less strain on the reed as it flexes and you pull it back than over flexing it this direction. You're going to get a clearer tone, and you're never going to run into the danger of a harp breaking your teeth is probably not going to result from a reed hitting your teeth. Most reeds aren't that hard, like on a Snoopy or Hobby Lobby mouth harp, they are that hard. And it's going to be combined with your dental health. If you have brittle teeth or mouth problems, you are probably more at risk. But playing inward, we're going to put it up against our teeth, and I found it was easiest for me starting out to be right in front of a mirror so that I could see what exactly I'm doing. And go ahead and try this in front of a mirror. Just try it looking at your phone, up against the teeth, and we're just going to pull. Now, if you get a click, it's probably because you wasn't moving in a straight plane. At first, I start people off moving the entire hand and concentrating on getting a straight pull, or if you're going to play outward, a straight push out. But outward, the risk in breaking your teeth is the heart being pulled away from your mouth and then slap back up against your teeth. If that was my teeth, that would hurt. If you have a big, heavy harp with a hard reed, bap, that's really going to hurt you. Run the risk of possibly chipping your teeth. I never have yet. I've had harps slap me right in the teeth. But now we're rambling again, and rambling is part of what I do. We're going to pull straight inward. And I'm just holding my tongue in the center. And after you get that down, if you start getting clicks, it means that you're not plucking true. Over time, you're not going to be doing this over-exaggerated movement, but at first, I want you to concentrate on the exaggerated movement of pulling in a straight plane. If you get a click, don't get mad, don't get frustrated. Just know, like, okay, that click is telling me that I wasn't plucking true. Also, if you're getting clicks, it might be because your teeth are starting to tense down and close on the harp. It closes down, the reed can't vibrate. And this can be frustrating, especially if it's ever happened to you, because this doesn't only happen to beginners. If you're up on stage and you're nervous or you're scared or you get frustrated because you make a mistake in your song and your jaw begins to tense down, you'll close the harp on itself and you'll start getting clicks. And especially when you're up in front of a whole bunch of people, if you start getting lots of clicks, it pulls you out of your music. It's kind of a vicious cycle. But pluck along like that until you can pluck truly. Then after you can pluck true or semi-true, if you're plucking 75% of the time, not getting any clicks, you can move on to other techniques because that will be self-correcting over time. Then the different positions of your tongue in your mouth are going to be the beginnings of what dictates your tone. First off, take your tongue, waggle it. Don't worry about moving the reed fast. Just one pluck, apply the technique. Another technique we can start off on as beginners. And these are all variations of things that we already do when we're talking, the mouth movements, the orientation. So we'll start off with vowels. A, E, I, O, and U. And I'm not vocalizing. I'm not saying A. I'm just making the motions because this reed is vibrating just like your vocal cords are vibrating, and then we're manipulating the sound coming off of that. Because we have this reed vibrating, we don't necessarily or even want our vocal cords vibrating. So say A, E, I, O, U. Plucking slowly. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. And it works the same even if you've got a Snoopy harp, which is, they do not play well. A, E, I, O, U. It's just a muted version of what we're doing there. And after you get your vowels down, start linking that in. Start thinking to yourself, well, there's a rhythm in there. There's a rhythm in everything. In every little nonsense saying you say, there's probably a rhythm in there. We're going to go A-O, E-I-O, E-A-O. Practice that for a little while. Get good at that. And that's just a rhythm that I made up off of the vowels. You can take probably any combination of letters or sounds. I went Develop that technique a little bit, then start putting a little bit of funk on it. Build your primary techniques and then allow yourself to become a part of it, because the harp it's a reflection and inflection of yourself. So allow yourself to be put in the music, because you don't want to be playing just my tone. Put your own self in it. And there was somebody says, in a recent video you showed us a chromatic collection of harps. Do you like playing in melodic style on occasion? Yes, I do like playing in a melodic, blah, 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 blah. I do like some melodic playing. I have been taking, well, I've taken one lesson from somebody who really knows what they're talking about with melodic play. I don't have it quite down yet. Something I'm going to be working on. I do have some harps, and I haven't uploaded, I uploaded the unboxing on these, but I haven't done the metadata yet. And one of the guys who bought it said I could play it. These are really expensive harps, so I'm not playing them. I'm just going out to collectors. These are Litvinov. These are really, really sought after. And I've got the unboxings are going to be uploaded tomorrow. I have one more available, and then I got 3 more coming. These are the Litvinov, the sought after Litvinov for melodic playing. And I only played these harps enough to test them, and then the owner of this harp said, oh, go ahead and play it before you send it out, because I'm not keeping any of this shipment. I've got a shipment coming next week, and they're a very sought after harp, and this dude won awards. I'm going hoarse here. Oh wait, I'm sorry about that. I just moved the microphone. I wonder how long the microphone was away from my head. Very, very sharp, clear overtones. I'm going to play it a little bit rhythmically too. Ooh, she is loud. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. Oh my God. I should really keep one out of the next thing. That thing is smoking loud. Man, the harmonics off that are rich. And I don't even think the microphone's even doing it justice, because it is, I think this is a lot louder than my Niega Oleg. Somebody says Holy Grail. Holy Grail is right. These are the Litvinov are the way. I've got one left out of this. I got a D, an E, a G, and an A, and the D, G, and A are gone, and the E's left. I'm saving the D itself, or the E itself, is a little bit lower of an E, and I'm saving myself for one of the higher ones that's coming, either the B or the C that's coming next week. Because yeah, they are smoking loud, and they feel nice. And look at the level of detail that he puts on the tail. Just absolute gorgeous fit and finish. Yeah, you can see the shine, the pristine shine coming off them, and this thing beats. And normally I wouldn't play harps like this because I'm playing it a little bit rough. I'm expensive harps like this, I'm not going to play them. I'm not going to break them in for people, but he said it was just fine to play them because I really don't have a ton that's good at melodic play. But yeah, the Litvinov. And if anybody's interested in like the E, just get a hold of me in my store. It's the Harpery on Facebook. I just got a massive. Hold on, let's just go check out this. I got 42 Glaser in. I got a whole drawer of Glaser, and I got more drawers of harps. And I've got a ton more harps coming in. Even in the future, I'm going to be getting some harps from Yakusha. that'll be something to look out for. I've got tons and tons of harps going, and this is what my harping addiction has come toward. At first, I was just using harps. Now I'm dealing them. What a slippery slope it is. But yeah, oh, that Litvinov is nice. Oh, it just glides through the overtones. Fantastic. But yes, they are Sergei Litvinov or Sergei Litvinov. I keep calling him Litvinov. I got corrected yesterday. It's Litvinov. I was pretty proud of his harps. And he should be. Very, very nice. Just like, it's hard to describe. Like, the reeds on them are just perfect. They're not too stiff, not too flimsy, just... Let's just get a listen to the range on this. And I should probably scoot this back because this thing is loud. It's probably distorting it. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to be getting more of these in 6 months or a year or whenever he can build some more for me. Someone says, thank you so much for the pointers. I came across your channel a while back and I'm trying to inspire. Oh, cool. I'm glad it's helping you. Let's just go back to our, I don't know how I got distracted. I get distracted really easily, especially around harps. Oftentimes, what'll end up happening is I'll set off to do something and I'll have a harp near me and I'll just zone out and play the harp for 15 or 20 minutes. Then I'll come back upstairs and be like, oh crap, I came downstairs. I don't even know. I didn't even finish the thing that I came down to do. I might come down to put the clothes in the dryer and never actually do it. And let's go back to the beginner lesson because this is good stuff here. And it's good data to have, especially as a beginner. We went over how to hold the harp, our vowels, our tongue. Now start tying breath in there. We're going to breathe out, breathe in. Pluck, breathe out, breathe in. That's the basis for all the faster hillbilly breathing or rhythmic style that I plan. Is just out breath, in breath. And we don't want to overblow. We want to work with the reed. Because if we think about the harp, it's like having a dancing partner. If you've ever danced with somebody, it's not just you doing whatever you want. You're feeding off the movement and the emotion of the other person as you dance. Same with the harp. Pay attention to your harp. Feel what it's doing. The harp will talk to you and the harp will tell you if you're cooperating with it or if the two of you are working independently, which is going to be counterproductive. So we're just going to breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out and breathe in with the harp. Feel the back pressure of the harp. It'll talk to you. It'll tell you what to do. I'm just... Don't overblow. That is another useful technique, the overblow, but that's something we'll cover later. Here we want to work with the harp. Out, in, out, in. And practice that until you kind of get that rhythm. Then begin to tie it together. Then go ahead and start stomping your foot. Start keeping time with it. And there, I'm starting out breathing, and we're just going to jump into some more advanced stuff real quick. I just want you to take the time, get in front of your mirror, go over this stuff. We're doing that hillbilly breathing technique, or breathe our in and out breath. I'm starting out with my tongue at the bottom, and then I'm bringing my tongue to the top to raise my tone. There we have those three kind of levels where our tongue is at. Near the bottom, in the middle, at the top, and everywhere in between. So practice going across those zones to change your tone with your breathing, and then start jumping in between those three. Because just because we just have set up those three locations for our tongue, There are a lot of different jumping off and jumping on points we can do there. I'm just going to do those 3 locations, kind of at the bottom, kind of in the middle, kind of at the top. And it helps to start off and get some timing going and get that rhythm going. So just with setting up 3 different tongue locations, you can go a lot of different places. Also, you have your percussive techniques, your ticks, tocks, D's, da's, le's, la's. Now that in and of itself isn't really a song, so start linking those together, kind of like we did with our AOE, IOE, AO, and our dun 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 dun. Just find ways to link your techniques together, and your own song is going to come out in it. Your personality. The great thing about the harp is your personality is going to be able to shine through it. After you play the harp a year or so, you're going to really start developing your own music, and if not before then, some people start making up their own songs within a week or a month or whatever, and the first rhythms you play are probably going to be your own song. So don't be afraid to put yourself in the music and put yourself in the rhythm, because ultimately the jaw harp is an instrument of you. And that concludes the beginner lesson. I'm going to play one more harp and we're going to call it good. I think it's got to be going on midnight or so. I've been doing those rhythmic breathing patterns that are kind of drying out my palate. We're going to come back to the alpha. Down. Do do da 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 do 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 da 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 da. There, here I'm just gonna do some squishing of my tongue. It's like I'm squishing the tone and getting a tiny little bell ring out of the tip. I'm keeping and I'm taking my tongue and I'm just pressing it up against the back of my teeth, just squishing it. And it gives us that kind of squishy out there tone. All right, that is going to be it for this live upload. I love y'all. Have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. May your harps stay dry and oiled and clean. Be good to each other. Adios. Love y'all. Later, George. How do I end the upload? Let's see. Oh, there we go.